Alright, what's up, guys? We are live. So in my last live stream the other day, which was 2 days ago, or was it 2 days? Yeah, it was 2 days ago. I talked about the Mariners-Tigers series, and I talked about how it was connected to Minoru Yamasaki. Minoru Yamasaki is the architect that designed the World Trade Center, among other complexes and buildings. But he was born in Seattle, died in Detroit. And I talked about how Game 1, which was yesterday, was 1 month and 27 days before his birthday. Of course, World Trade Center buildings 1, 2, and 7 were the main. All the World Trade Center buildings came down, but 1, 2, and 7 were the ones that came down by themselves. We'll say the other ones came down because they were crushed by other buildings. So 1, 2, and 7 were the main ones that fell down. All right, and the Seahawks' first Super Bowl was in Detroit, like how the Mariners are playing the Tigers right now. That was Super Bowl 40. This is the year of the 121st World Series. 121 is the 40th semi-prime. There were 31 combined points in that game, 21-10. And you got also 2-1-1. 2-1 was the 47th prime number. Seattle's on the 47th parallel. 127 is the 31st prime. They lost to the Steelers. Steelers is 31. Anyways, the Mariners just won tonight. They got their 91st win of the season. Now, I did think that they were going to win Game 1 last night instead of Game 2 today. But we'll talk about it. All right. So the two games so far, 3-2 and 3-2. Of course, there are. If we look at the Jesuit logo, there's 32 sun rays on there, okay? 32 sun rays on the Jesuit logo. Of course, Seattle has Seattle University, a Jesuit school. Oh, it's funny that it's at 901. The Mariners just got their 91st win of the season. 91 is also the 31st semi-prime, like how 127 is the 31st prime number. That's interesting. So, yeah, Seattle's got the Jesuit University. You have and also not to, one more thing that I should mention is that, of course, whenever there's famous Japanese people, there's always connections with Pearl Harbor. Pearl Harbor was on December 7th, 12/7. And, of course, the most famous Japanese player in MLB history, Ichiro, played for Seattle. What just happened? Okay, I gotta. Here we go. Okay, back here. All right. Anyways, 3-2 and 3-2. So that means the series score now is 5-5, right? Or just Yamasaki, it equals 55. And let's just pull up Minoru Yamasaki's birthday. As you can see, born in Seattle, died in Detroit. His birthday 12/1, this is the 121st, or the year of the 121st World Series. So from his birthday, or from today until his birthday, you see it's 1 month and 26 days, but it's a span of 1 month and 27 days. And again, the Mariners just got their 91st win of the season. 31st semi-prime, here just to show you that 91 is the 31st semi-prime. 91, 31st semi-prime. Now yesterday was 1 month and 27 days, also 8 weeks and 2 days. Seattle is 82. Now, I thought yesterday when it was tied 2-2, I thought the Mariners were going to win 4-3. That did not happen. They ended up taking a 2-0 lead in today's game, which meant for a couple innings, the score of the series was 4-3. But what was interesting about yesterday is the Tigers got their 90th win of the season. 121. Let's just click on a random number. Right, so 121 This is the year of the 121st World Series. Why is it not popping up? 121 is the 90th composite number. Interstate 90 ends in Seattle. I'll just show you here. Okay, so Interstate 90, right there. I mean, it literally ends right next. Interstate 90 literally ends right next to the stadium. Look at that. And so yesterday, the Mariners got their 90th win of the season, and the Tigers got their 90th win of the season, and the Mariners stayed on 90 wins. Now the Mariners get win number 91. And this one is in tribute to Mr. Yamasaki. As yesterday for the Mariners, Julio Rodriguez. So he's got the Seattle connection. His full name, I think, is Julio Yamel Rodriguez. Yeah, Julio Yamel Rodriguez. He hit the go-ahead RBI tonight. Today's 10/5, 105. 105 is also interesting because which Illuminati is it? No, it's not that. Is it the Illuminati? No, is it Order of? Yeah, Order of Illuminati. Here we go. Okay, so I've talked about this guy before. Julio Rodriguez. His full name, Julio Yamel Rodriguez, born on 12/29. 12/29 is important because 1229 is the 201st. Yeah, 1229 is the 201st prime number. From today until his birthday. Let's pull off the days. Let's go from so yesterday he hit a home run, 86 days before his birthday. Today was a span of 86 days before his birthday. It was also 12 weeks and 2 days, span of 12 weeks and 2 days before his birthday. He hit the go-ahead RBI home run, not RBI home run, go-ahead RBI double tonight, which proved to be the game-winning run. That was 86 days before his birthday. Again, Jesuits is 86. And what's significant about 122? Seattle is on the 122nd meridian, but 122 is also, as we wait for this to load, 122 is the 91st composite number. I'll show you once this finishes loading. I don't know why it's being so slow, but here we go. 122, 91st composite number. Span of 12 weeks and 2 days before his birthday. How old is he going to be? Is he going to be 25? Yeah, he's going to be 25. And again, Mariners is 97, the 25th prime number. Okay. I think that's all I wanted to touch on in regards to the Minoru Yamasaki connection. Oh, I guess the other guy, Jorge Polanco, he hit 2 home runs today. I was looking at his name. What's confusing about Jorge Polanco is, for those of you who don't know, in Spanish-speaking countries, you have 2 last names. You have your dad's last name and then your mom's last name. And you go by, generally you go by your dad's last name. So what's an example? I'll just go with Adolis Garcia, for example, because I've talked about him before. So yeah, his last name is Garcia. His mom's last name is Arrieta. So his full name has both last names, but you just go by, when you're like on like roll call sheets or professionally, you just go by one name. Or like another example would be like Lionel Messi. Oh, they used to have both of his last names on there. Maybe he's not a great. Let's look at maybe the Pope. They have his full. They don't have his full name on there. These are bad examples. Okay, well let's look at actually no, here it is. Let's look at Jorge Soler. Yeah, so you see like his full name, Jorge Carlos Soler Castillo, but he just goes by Jorge Soler. Anyways, so that was kind of a diatribe, but the point I wanted to make is Jorge Polanco, at least according to Wikipedia, he should be Jorge Pacheco. And Jorge Pacheco, he's got the 56. just like it's just like Society of Jesus 56. His name is also 218. 218 is the it is a semi-prime. I forgot which one it is though. 218 is that's right, it's the 73rd semi-prime. And let me go back to my notes here because there was definitely something with 218. That's right. The Mariners can get their 218th win all time against the Tigers if they win this series. And Minoru Yamasaki died at age 73. So just to show you, let's just do Mariners record versus if I can spell Tigers including playoffs. 216, right? Oh, so 216 is this is a very interesting number actually, 216, because 216 is 6 times 6 times 6. 6 times 6 times 6, 216. It's a 36 triangular number. The score right now in the series is 5-5. Yamasaki 55. I just talked about that earlier. Satan is 55. So this is kind of a satanic ritual. Oh, but anyways, back to Jorge Polanco or Jorge Pacheco, whatever you want to call him. Yeah, he's got this 56, 61 also. Jesus 61. Of course, 61 is the 18th prime number. And IHS is 18. Also in regards to Jorge Polanco, his full name, so including his middle name and both of his last names. Should know there was 243 is 3 to the 5th. 243, 3 to the 5th power, like 35, like Catholic. I thought I just saw something. Oh yeah, and his also Jorge Pacheco is 106. 106 is the 35th semi-prime. 106, 35th semi-prime. Catholic, 35. Yeah, and he hit 2 home runs tonight, so he's kind of the player of the game. Okay, what is just, I know I put this on my Twitter, but I forget. Yeah, and Jorge Polanco equals 131, the 32nd prime number. 32 sun rays on the Jesuit logo. Yeah, and 58, today was actually, let me keep the span. It was a span of 58 days before Minoru Yamasaki's birthday. Remember, he died at age 73 as well. And what did we say about 218? Where was the 218 again? 218, yeah, Jorge Pacheco, which is his real name, 73rd semi-prime. Okay. I think I've talked enough about those guys. A couple of things that I wanted to mention that I hadn't brought up in earlier live streams because I kind of forgot. The first is Dan Wilson, the Mariners manager. He just got his 112th win all time as manager. Catholicism is 112. The Jesuits also claim to operate in 112 countries. So yeah, very fitting day, very fitting score, very fitting players involved, managers involved. Dan Wilson, he's, just to show you his managerial record. Maybe I have to click on manager stats. Manager stats, yeah, so this isn't updated, but tomorrow it'll show that he has 112 wins, including the postseason. Anyways, he's also 56 years old, but look where he's from. He's from Arlington Heights. Who else is from Arlington Heights? The guy who just got assassinated, Charlie Kirk. And what's interesting about actually, I don't know if I've already covered this. Maybe I have. Yeah, I think I did already cover this. From Charlie Kirk's birthday until Dan Wilson's next birthday was, he was 162 days. Of course, that's a big baseball number. Major League Baseball, 162 games in a season. There's also something significant about the... If I can remember what it was. I may have already talked about it. I can't remember if I... But... Oh, maybe it was the other direction? Let's see. Or maybe it was from his... From his birthday until... Oh yeah, this is what it was. Yeah, so from Dan Wilson's 56th birthday until the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated was 169 days. 169 is 13 squared, but more importantly, 169 is the 56th semi-prime that goes along with, where's Society of Jesus? Society of Jesus 56, Seattle, WA 56, Mariners 56, all right? Much Jesuit symbolism involved, and there's even more in regards to the Mariners in 56. Let's just look up. Well, actually, we'll go back to here. So T-Mobile Park. Yeah, they're the western terminus of I-90. We're just talking about that. The Kingdom. I've talked about this before. The Kingdom was demolished on 26th of March, 263. Hold on. Here we go. So 56. 263 is the 56th prime number. And back to the 9/11 connections. I've definitely talked about this before. From the 1-year anniversary of the Kingdom's demolishment until 9/11 was 169 days. And furthermore, T-Mobile Park opened on July 15th, 1999, right? So from, it was called Safeco Field at the time. From its, oh no, sorry, this is what it was. It was, Safeco Field opened on the 169th, or the day leaving 169 days left in the year. The demolishment of the Kingdom was 169 days before, 1 year before 9/11. And what was the thing about, was it Dan Wilson was born, or no, Dan Wilson's birthday was 169 days before Charlie Kirk's assassination. And also, it's a span of 256 days. 256 is the 201st composite number. I remember our guy Julio, born on 12/29. The Jesuit Order, 201. All right. And we were talking about the Illuminati earlier. Yeah, Order of Illuminati, 201, okay? Just to show you how it all works. They had this planned out years in advance. Oh, and okay, what else I wanted to talk about with... Oh, that's okay, yeah, broke ground on 11/2. Dan Wilson just got his 112th win as manager. Catholicism equals 112. Jesuits claim to operate in 112 countries. I'm thinking 11/2 is going to be the date of the parade of whoever wins the World Series. I'm pretty sure they're going to hold their parade on that day. We'll see, but what else is there? Okay, and a couple other things I can talk about. 1979 NBA Finals. This is the only time the Supersonics won the NBA Finals. Of course, they became the Thunder, and the Thunder just won the Finals this year. This was the NBA's 33rd season. Yeah, NBA's 33rd season, okay? The only Super Bowl that the Seahawks won was Super Bowl 48. This was the first Super Bowl to be played on February 2nd, which is the 33rd day of the year. And it was in, well, technically it was in New Jersey, but, you know, it's in the New York area. They even, I remember when it happened, they called it New York. I mean, the New York teams play there. New York's another 33. And yeah, speaking of New York and 33, Yankees lost 13-7 today. 137 is the 33rd prime number. Anyways, back to that. So where was it? Supersonics win in the 33rd season. Seahawks win the Super Bowl on the 33rd day of the year. Right now, the Mariners are in their 49th season, and 49 is the 33rd composite number. So we'll see what happens there. But another thing I wanted to mention was where was it? Okay, yes, this is what it was. So we just had the death of the Mormon president, Russell M. Nelson. He died at 101 years old. And I was looking at the Wikipedia page of T-Mobile Park the other day, and it says on September 15th, 2018, Russell M. Nelson, who just died a couple days ago, president of the Mormon Church, and his wife, and this guy. And fun fact, I was classmates with, I think, one of this guy's granddaughters. Don't quote me on that, but that's another story for another time. But yeah, anyways, this was September 15th, 2018 in Seattle. September 15th, that's the day leaving 107 days left in the year. Just to show you, just do Sep 15. Day leaving 107 days left in the year. Seattle, 107. So this guy just died at the age of 101. He died on the day that the Jesuits were recognized by Rome. I do want to pull up Zach's article on this because there are a couple things that are interesting. Russell M. Nelson. Okay. All right, so then we had a shooting at a Michigan Mormon church the day after he died, and now Seattle's playing Detroit, which is in Michigan. And so what was interesting about the day that this took place, September 15th, that was right after he turned 94 years old. He was born in 1924. This is in 2018. So right after he turned 94 years old. Seattle, Washington, 94. Okay. All right, and they say it was in front of 49,000 people, I think. Is that right? 49,000 people. Yeah, there's 47,000 seats, but I guess they had some people on the field. Yeah, 47,000. So they probably had a little over 1,000 people sitting on the field. Anyway, so back to this guy, Russell Nelson. Yeah, died at 101. President Russell M. Nelson equals 101. Connects with Charlie Kirk dying in Utah. Let's see, 347. Is 347 a semi-prime? No, it's not. Is 347 even prime? Yeah, we were just talking about 61 and 18. So he's dead span of 93 days before Joseph Smith's birthday. Okay, we were just talking about 93 and 32. And the Mariners' next win is their 92nd win of the season. So that would make sense if they got their 92nd win in Detroit after all this goes down with the shooting and the... Oops, I went back too far. Okay, back to here. Yes, we got another 93. Okay. I think, let's see, do I have anything more to talk about? Oh, but I guess the one more thing is, so he died at 101, right? Yeah, died at age 101. I think it was what? President Russell M. Nelson is 101. Again, the Mariners have 91 wins on the season. They need 10 more to win the World Series. So if they get 10 more, they'll get to 101. We'll see if that happens, but it would make some sense. Okay, and the last thing I want to talk about is, I've talked about this guy before, Jaron, who's a former flat earther. He started a new channel called Interesting-ism, and they basically just talk about stuff that's going on, and he gives his thoughts on it. So he did a 3.5-hour episode on Charlie Kirk, and it was actually pretty good. I watched it. He talked about some of the wacky conspiracy theories and some of the ones that make sense and all that. But he did talk about gematria for a few minutes, and I am going to cover his what he had to say about it.
The distance that they say. Okay? So, just funny that, it's just, how many, is this Dave's video?
Yeah, I mean, Dave Weiss is also another retard. I mean, does he even, I don't think he even knows he probably doesn't even know about Number the Beast and 666. I think he just hears 666 and oh, conspiracy. Yeah, I don't think Dave Weiss even knows what 666 means. But here, let's just listen to this.
Hey guys, welcome back at Joseph. I got a few new connections
yeah, well,
on.
First off, okay, he's playing a clip from Joseph Aquaviva, so automatically you can't. It's hard to take what he says seriously. Okay, this is if you're going to show something from gematria, Joseph Aquaviva should not be the first one that you should show. Okay.
On the Charlie Kirk ritual that I want to share.
And also, like 1666, like 1666 is not the same as 666. Okay, that's stupid.
The ritual.
So during the memorial yesterday,
let me teach you how gematria works. In case you don't know this, do you know how many numbers there are in the world? Numbers. There's only 9 and a 0.
Wait, Jaron, do you know the difference between a number and a digit? Let's look at this. Digit. No, not, yeah, digit definition. Any of the numerals 0 through 9. Okay. And let's do define number. Let's ask this question. How many numbers are there? Oh, look at that. I mean, I know that AI doesn't always give the right answers, but I mean, it says there are an infinite amount of numbers. And I think if you could go to any website, they'll tell you the same thing. I mean, there are 10 digits, but there's a bunch more numbers. Okay, so Jaron, you have to learn the difference between a number and a digit. There's 10 digits, and there's probably an infinite amount of numbers. So already not off to a great start.
That's it. That's the only numbers there are. So guess what? When any event happens, if you go gather the date and the time and the address and people's ages and you name it, his weight, how many kids he has, and then you go back and you try and find anything about that day or any connection, or you will find it. And these guys trick you by they'll put into a computer days since, and then you include the day of and the day after, so
okay.
Let's say.
Jaron, let's give an example. Let's just look at an image here. Let's do track. All right, let's look at a track here. I'm gonna switch this to have us capture the screen instead. We're going to take a screenshot of this track. And we're going to pretend, I want to make sure it's actually going to show up on here. Okay. Good. It shows up on here. All right. Let's do it with yellow. So say you're starting on a track. All right. Let's just say you start here. There's lap 1. Okay, that's not great, but you get the point. Lap 2. Lap 3. And now you're on lap 4. And when you get to right here, someone asks you, hey, how many laps have you run? You're going to say, I've run 3.5 laps. But say in an alternate universe, someone asks you, you're at this point, and someone asks you, hey, which lap are you on? You're going to say, I'm on lap 4. You see how those are 2 different questions and 2 different answers? So this is why you can get, there's a difference. Like we clearly, in probably not just English, probably in every language, we use span and like the exact number. Like what are we in? We're in the 21st century? Right, we're in the 21st century, but it's the 2000s, okay? Because zeroth doesn't exist. What if we just like soccer times? Okay, let's do an example here. Let's go like, okay, for example, in this Premier League game between Man City and Brentford, Erling Haaland scored in the 9th minute, but if we watch the highlights,
the bees coming off the back.
If we watch the highlights, we're going to find out that this goal came. Oops, we have to watch the ad. When we watch the highlights, we're going to find out this goal came when there were 8 minutes on the clock, okay? Look at that. So 8 minutes on the clock, you can clearly see right there, but he scored in the 9th minute, okay? Do you get how this stuff works? All right, back. Just got to keep watching.
So you're looking at the days between January 5th and March 5th. And you could tell it will include January 5th. Now to give me a number. Okay, now include March 5th. Now give me a number. So you can keep playing with it. Now also, if you've never seen the Gematria calculators, Gematrinator, let me show you what they do. And so this is good content, I think, that I'm able to tell you what these conspiracy theorists do, what they believe in. And I used to be there. Okay? So this is a Gematrinator calculator. Okay. So let's put in something here. Let's pretend that, trying to think here, something that we could put, globe fake or fake globe Earth or something. So let's say they fake the globe Earth and we're putting fake globe Earth just to get our numbers here. Okay, so
Jared, what you're not understanding is we put in stuff that's either names or headlines, or like names of people, names of events. Like I don't know if anyone is like fake globe Earth is like the name of anything. I do know for a fact that you were a flat earther, which equals 66, and your mom died at age 66. I do know that. So it's a little bit suspicious.
So right away we can look at these numbers, but there's something else we could do. We could turn on more ciphers. We don't have enough ciphers on here. Let's turn them all on. Now we get...
Okay, yeah, and this is exactly what the people who make the work look bad do. In reality, let me just turn the snipping tool back on. In reality, like these are the main ones we use. Occasionally we'll use Latin, which is the Jewish cipher. Occasionally we'll use Sumerian. I'd say very rarely, or is it? I forget. Is standard the one where you have to like multiply it by 6, or is that Sumerian? I can't remember which one it is. And then like maybe very rarely satanic. So like there's 4 that we use like pretty much all the time, and then maybe 1 more that we use some of the time, and then 2 that we use rarely, and then the others we don't. I mean, the other people, I shouldn't say the other people, but a lot of other people will use all these other ciphers and make the work look bad.
You get to see the ordinal, the reduction, the reverse reduction, the standard, the Latin, the Sumerian, the reverse Lemurian, the reverse satanic, reverse standard. Here's the thing. Once you find the number that matches, You just don't tell people that you looked at all these. Oh, well, according to single...
Well, yeah, and also we do show when we take screenshots, like let's just look at like Zach's article here. Yeah, like when he takes a screenshot, he shows you what cipher it is. And like he did use a Jewish one somewhere, or maybe it was a different article. But yeah, it was one of the articles. It was this one here. There, so he shows that, yeah, this is the Hebrew standard cipher, and we're using Hebrew letters. So, yeah, we do show you which ciphers we're using. And if it is one of these weird ciphers, then take it with a grain of salt.
Reduction, and oh, great. So now we get all these numbers. So you can look through, oh, look at the satanic number 606. I mean, how many 66s do you see? There's a 33 in the primes. And guess what you can do? If you don't get what you want, maybe I meant flake globe Earths. That's what I meant. And you can get a change in your numbers there. Now we got 660 satanic. Well, it could be faked globe Earths. 699. Okay, you can just massage things until it looks like you have something. It's the easiest thing I've ever seen. That Zachary Hubbard is one of the biggest pretenders that there are on the internet, because he tells people he can pick sporting events with gematria, and he just does what I just did. He just keeps playing around with it until it works. He gives numbers for both teams that are in a playoff game or something, and then
it keeps playing around with it until it works. Clearly, that's not how it works. I mean, we take the team names, the player names, dates from their birthdays. Only 4 ciphers for those. And then look at date distances and stuff like that. We're not moving things around to make things work. No, you're probably watching like a Joseph Aquaviva video or something. They make the work look bad.
Whoever wins is like, see, I told you. Look at all these numbers that match. Yeah, there's only 9 plus a 0, and all those players in a baseball game, guess what? They all have a batting average. They have an ERA. They have RBIs. They have their at-bats for the year.
Yeah, speaking of all that, actually, we should look at, I was just talking about Jorge Polanco. Look what his batting average is. Oh, 263. Was I not just talking about how important 263 is, the 56th prime? Also has 100, not including the playoffs, has 154 home runs. Why is 154 important? Because, if I could, did I not save it? Here it is, 201. 154th composite number. Okay.
They've got their walks, their hit by pitch. How many strikeouts do they have? How many runs have they scored? So again, you're going to find numbers in everything. In everything. It shouldn't be surprising to anyone. Okay, let's put in interesting just to see if this is why I named the show this. Interesting. Let's see. Enter. See, is there any 6s? I want some 666 here. 68, 67, reverse reduction, and 1 off. Now, I will tell you the weird one. There is a weird one here. Do you know what the weird one is? It is National.
I'll skip ahead for something. He actually misspells it and then he gets it. But also, yeah, with Jaron, if I can spell his name, 54. Is it Jaronism? Jaronism does equal 127, which is interesting. But Jaronism 54, just like Jesuit Order 54, 153. He was born on the 153rd day of the year, funny enough. And Zach is, because I've done a video on him, and Zach's done a video on him as well. He wrote a kind of a better decode than I did. I will say, in regards to some of the things on here, like, where is it? Yeah, like the fact that he created his channel on the 37th day of the year, and he was a flat earther, like that could be a coincidence. I'm gonna say that's probably a coincidence. That could be a factor into why he became one of the big flat earth channels, because he created his channel on the 37th day of the year. But I don't think that was part of the ritual. I think that was a coincidence that he created his channel on that day. Okay, does he say
one and A is real national is they can just you can right now it's not 6. Well, how do we know it's not the National Aeronautics and Space Administration? Right
I mean,
now it's not 666. What if we put an and sign here instead? So you can just see you can massage things, and I see them do it all the time because what they do is they can just make it seem like they're saying something different. This is what RV Truth does all the time. I've seen him before say that all the members of FE Corps were all Satanists because he would look up Bob Nodell's name, then he would look up mine. But if my name didn't work, then he would add my middle initial. And then if that didn't work, he would add, put my middle name in. So you go, oh, Jaron.
Yeah, but I mean, no one calls you Jaron M. Campanella. Everyone either calls you Jaron or Jaron Campanella. And yeah, Bob Nodell, his death very suspicious because he died 56 days before your birthday. Where is it? Yeah, 152 days after his birthday, Flat Earth 152. Like you're born on the 152nd day of the year. And I'm pretty sure it was 56 days before. Yeah, he died on 4/6. The same day Behind the Curve came out. Yeah, 56 days before Jaron's birthday. So
Jaron Campanella, does he have anything wrong in his name? Nope. Well, let's get him. He does have a middle initial. See what we get now. And you can keep playing around until you get something, or you can just say...
That is actually kind of funny that Jaron M. Campanella does equal Freemasonry. But again, no one calls you that, so I don't think that would be... And funny enough, I saw on the site here, 322 penalty minutes at a preseason game. Skull and Bones 322. What is Florida Panthers? Florida Panthers 76. Skull and Bones 76. All right.
Well, what about just his first name? Do we have anything there? 33 in single reduction. 33 is a Freemason.
Well, do you know about 33 in Freemasonry? So Masonry is 33. Was it 33rd degree Mason? Yeah, so Jaron, do you even know about the connection between 33 and Freemasonry, or is that just stuff that you've heard and you're just repeating that? I mean, yeah, there are connections with 33 and Freemasonry, but just because your first name equals 33 doesn't mean that you're a Freemason.
What if we add a C? Okay, you get it. 111. Oh, 666 in reverse Sumerian. I mean, now we get it. Now we know Jaron's a Satanist. So this is what these guys do. And it's bad enough that they know what they're doing. Here's the worst part, is that they're tricking people. Oh, I'm 666 in reverse Sumerian. How does that work out?
Again, most people do not do that. The people that do that don't know how this works and make the work look bad. Like I left a comment on here. Said, yeah, in regards to your brief section on gematria, I would say you misrepresented it. The first short clip was from Joseph Aquaviva. Yeah. Right, so he probably takes a look at what the bad people do and say, oh, that's what they do. It's so silly. Yeah, because it makes the work look bad. And he just assumes that we all do that.
Yeah. I don't even know what it means. It is 1, 2, 3, 6. I don't know what that means. Anyway, you can figure out what the layout is of that one. So, very, very sad what's going on in this world. And let's get into some of the good stuff finally. Or at least be able to try. I want to make, because nobody has.
Talk about anything else.
But I need to. Oh, you're not even. I thought I had this screen on. Sorry. All right. Maybe watching what I was up. And this is why.
Okay. All right. That's enough for Jaron. I need to talk about him later, but yeah, just to show you that. And also, a thing with Flat Earth is like Flat Earthers and gematria deniers are really, I don't see a difference between them, because Flat Earthers deny a lot of things. Like they deny the moon landing, they deny gravity, they deny the fact that we're like spinning and revolving around the sun and all that. And people that come across this work, they say, oh, there's no way they could script it. Just like, oh, there's no way we went to the moon, or oh, there's no way that water can stick to a ball. It's the same mindset. And I do also generally believe that if we were told that the Earth was flat when we were younger, most of us would probably believe it, because the shape of the Earth is not something we think about very often. But that's another topic for another time. It's getting late. I should be going to sleep soon. Yeah, I wanted to the whole point of this was to talk about all the stuff with Minoru Yamasaki. And one more thing, if we look at the state of Washington, where the Mariners play, is, where does it say? Oh, it's right here. Again, it became a state on 11/11. This is the 121st World Series, which is 11 times 11. And we were talking about 33 earlier. 33 is the 11th semi-prime. So, yeah, there's a lot of connections. Some of them are probably more stretches than others, but a lot of them are solid. And that's all I've got. Well, I'll probably do another stream once the division series are over, so probably in a few days. But catch you guys next time.